pitch. Swung on and missed a perfect game.
High fly ball into right field. She is gone. In a year that has been so improbable, the impossible has happened. Fernando Valenzuela has pitched a no-hitter. Mikey Kershaw pitches a no-hitter. It is gone. It is a walk-off home run for Justin Turner. It's over. Muncy, a walk-off home run. This is way back. Walk 'em off. Chris Taylor.
We've got a big update on Shohei Ohtani. Will the Big Show play in Game 3 of the World Series and the Dodgers to pursue Juan Soto in free agency? That's coming up next on a little Dodgers Dugout Live after dark.
It's time for Dodger baseball.
Welcome to Dodger Stadium.
Dodgers win.
This is the golden age of Dodger baseball.
It's a double for Freddie.
They're going to make big signings. They're going to make impact trades. This is the most anticipated season in Dodgers history.
Dodgers have won it all in 2020.
Think blue, bleed blue, and I'm out.
What is up, Dodgers Nation, and welcome to another episode of Dodgers Dugout Live. My name is Doug McCain, credential member of Dodgers Media. You can follow me on X and Instagram at DMac_LA. Now, if you haven't yet, do us a huge favor. Do me a huge favor. Do yourself a huge favor because you love your boys in blue, and subscribe to the #1 Dodgers YouTube channel in the game. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that notification bell. Hit that like button, and let me know down below in the comment section. Do you want to see the Dodgers pursue Juan Soto in free agency? Should they give him a big bag? Should they split that up and maybe go for a Willie Adames, a Corbin Burns, add another starting pitcher somewhere else? You want to see that money spent on bringing back Teoscar Hernandez? So they're certainly going to have money to spend. How should they spend it? So, of course, this is an off day until Game 3 of the World Series. So we're going to have some fun with some free agency talk, right? You know we love to do that. You know we live for that. But also, we got a huge update on Shohei Ohtani. So we'll dive into those topics as well. And just a reminder, if you haven't yet, do us a huge favor and pick up your Kike Hernandez WDGAF shirt. That is the mantra. That is what all the players have been saying in the clubhouse, in the dugout. That's been the mindset of this team. You got the WDGAF, the Are We Live, the Kike goggles, the logo with the belt bump right there. I've seen a lot of Dodgers fans on the X tag me in some photos of them wearing it, so that's really cool to see. So yeah, definitely go pick one up. You can go to gearup.la. That's www.gearup.la. Really helps out the channel, really helps out Dodgers fans, so you can rep your boys in blue. You know, if you see a fan wearing this, you know they're a true blue Dodger fan. You know they just get it, and you want to definitely have that because you want to remember this season forever. Because in 1988, a lot of similarities with the Freddie Freeman walk-off grand slam. 1988, they were saying this effing team. So this year's WDGAF. So let's get right into it. So we'll talk about Juan Soto in a second here. We're going to talk about Juan Soto in a little bit. But we got a big update today. On Shohei Ohtani. So I don't know about you guys. Didn't sleep that well. Woke up at 3:30 in the morning in a cold sweat worrying about Shohei Ohtani. It was great to be up 2-0, but you want Shohei Ohtani to be okay, to be back in this Dodgers lineup, to help this team win their 8th World Series. And I woke up this morning and my shoulder was kind of hurting. And I think it's because I told you guys yesterday that he could take my shoulder and I would sacrifice my shoulder. I think that's what happened. I think Shohei Ohtani, little voodoo magic there, has my shoulder, and he's out there and he's feeling a little bit better this morning. Of course, I'm only kidding, but Carl Ravitch of ESPN, earlier in the day, he tweeted out that Dodgers manager Dave Roberts told me Shohei Ohtani is, quote, in a great spot and will be playing in Game 3 tomorrow. So as of right now, all things look like they're going to be a go. The show will go on. The show must go on. And it looks like Shohei Ohtani is going to be back in the lineup and will not miss any time due to that shoulder subluxation that he suffered when he tried to steal a base with the Dodgers up 4-1 with 2 outs. Left the game. You had some hot mics picking up his conversation with Will Ireton. They talked about how it might have popped out. But here was Dave Roberts today in New York talking about Shohei's status for Game 3.
As far as test results, we got doctors scrambling everywhere. I don't have them. This is more me going by the training staff. Shohei, feeling good this morning, range of motion, strength. He should be at the ballpark here in the next 30 minutes and going to go through the workout. Yeah, I mean, I think that, taking dry swings, which he's done, but then obviously taking balls off the tee, batting practice in the cage, that's going to be telling. And I think that he's obviously very well aware of himself and his body. So if he feels good enough to go, then I see no reason why he wouldn't be in there.
And is this
So there you go. That's what you want to hear. No reason why he will not be in there batting leadoff for the Dodgers in Game 3. He asked, who's talking more about it too. He's asked tons of questions about Shohei Ohtani, and a couple of things you were going to want to know about is, will this shoulder limit him? Is he going to be compromised with this shoulder injury? And Dave said that he doesn't see him being compromised. He pointed out that it's the left shoulder, which is the back shoulder, so he doesn't think that's going to affect his hitting if he's able to go. So I think that that's a great point. It is the back shoulder, and if you're a left-handed hitter, it's more important that you got your front shoulder ready to go as far as your load, as far as getting to your power, as far as keeping his swing consistent with what we've seen this season, and that definitely is a break for the Dodgers and Shohei Ohtani, is that it was that left shoulder. And the good thing, too, is the subluxation. There's a world where he woke up and he felt a lot better after icing it, after getting some treatment on it. So that's the number one thing, is Shohei Ohtani, who has one hit this series, the double in Game 1, that scorching rocket off the wall, and he's definitely due for a big World Series moment. And I always say about Shohei Ohtani is when he's on this big stage, history usually is kind to him. These fairy tale moments find him, and it feels like he's due for one of those, and at some point we're going to get one of those in the World Series. Just look how he got to 40-40, grand slam, walk-off fashion. Look how he got to 50-50, this 6-for-6 day, one of the best, if not the best individual performances we've ever seen in the history of this sport. So if he's in there, good things happen. And he was also asked, Dave Roberts, about if he could make things worse, if he could further injure it. And Dave said that once they do make the decision to officially have him play and he's in the lineup, that he does assume that there isn't a possibility that you can make things worse. So similar to Freddie Freeman, it's really just about pain management and pain tolerance and being able to play through this. And you got a couple things. You got whatever you need pain management wise, and then you also got the adrenaline of the World Series. If I'm Shohei Ohtani, I'm thinking whatever Freddie's on, put me on that, because it definitely is helping him manage the pain. And I think too, with these guys, it's about getting treatment too and getting their routines down. So yeah, the good news is, one, it's not going to affect his swing, hopefully, and that is the thought right now. And that's something that, even if you consider the positive spin from this becoming a Dodgers personnel, is that, like, yeah, it is the back shoulder. And then you look at it not getting worse. That's the biggest thing as well. And then he was also asked about the Cody Bellinger injury in 2020, and he said that it's very similar. It's just a different shoulder, and he mentioned once again that it's the right shoulder, and the right shoulder would be more compromising to a swing for a left-handed hitter than the left shoulder. So he said that, and that's pretty much where he's at right now. We know that Shohei Ohtani is most likely going to be back in the lineup, that this is not something serious, not something that will require any type of surgery. And if you talk to people that have suffered a shoulder subluxation, they'll tell you that when it happens, it's really a scary feeling. It's a scary feeling because it does give you the feeling and sensation that you did dislocate that shoulder. But with the subluxation, there's nothing that's torn. It's just painful. And you can't confuse that pain with something that is a little more serious that's going to force you to miss some time. So I think that's definitely encouraging to know that. And the fact that he is going to take dry swings, the fact that he's already going to hit balls off a tee, all signs are pointing to Shohei Ohtani being in the lineup and not missing any time, and that this is nothing serious that's going to force him to miss any extended time beyond that. So lots of good news if you're a Dodgers fan. Lots of good news if you're Major League Baseball. I'm pretty sure that Rob Manfred, when he heard this, he was doing cartwheels in the Bronx, hoping that his big moneymaker, his cash cow, is going to be in the lineup. Just imagine if you did not have this matchup with Shohei Ohtani and Aaron Judge, the King Kong versus Godzilla matchup in the World Series. It definitely hurts the box office when you look at how ratings go. But have you ever seen a King Kong movie? You ever seen a Godzilla movie? They're running through the city. They got buildings flying all over them. They got people shooting at them and this and that, and they can withstand some stuff. So a big, tall object falling on one of these guys is not going to keep them from playing in the World Series. And certainly a shoulder subluxation appears like it's not going to prevent Shohei Ohtani from playing in Game 3 and for the rest of this season. And look, it's the good thing too is, yes, the numbers have not been there so far in the World Series. And there's no doubt about that it hasn't been a great start for Shohei, but also hasn't been an awful start. If you look at Shohei so far in the entirety of the postseason, he certainly has had his moments, and he definitely ended up having a really big NLCS. But if you look at his entire postseason so far, Shohei is 13 for 50, hitting .260 with an .863 OPS. He's hit 3 home runs, and he's hit 1 double, has 10 RBIs, also has 19 strikeouts to 12 walks. If you look at how he performed in a league championship series against the Mets, Shohei goes 8 for 22, hit .364, and had an 1184 OPS. I feel like people aren't talking about this enough. I feel like people are trying to run with the narrative that he has underperformed in the postseason. Truth is, hit 2 home runs in the NLCS, had 9 walks, had 8 hits, performed, got the job done. Wasn't MVP super duper star Shohei like we saw in the regular season, but an 1184 OPS with a small sample size is definitely something to feel good about. And then you look at so far in the World Series, we mentioned it already, he's got that double that he hit in Game 1, and overall his numbers, he has 1 hit, he's 1 for 8, hitting 125, but he also has 1 walk, and you definitely want to see a little more production out of him, and definitely it feels like the kind of dodged a bullet moment that he had in Game 2, I think it's going to springboard him. I think it's going to launch him to having success in this series, because here's the truth of the matter, is that he wasn't very close when it came to stealing second in that game. And look, you have to remember too, in the postseason, there's usually better catchers with better pop times, and you're focusing more on catching runners as well. So there's that as well. You also don't want to give up outs in those situations. But let's be honest, Shohei Ohtani is one of those guys where the numbers don't tell the full story about the impact that he has on a team. And just look at Mookie Betts and Teoscar Hernandez and Freddie Freeman. They are playing a lot more free and easy this time around. The entire narrative last postseason when the Dodgers got swept by the Diamondbacks was that you had 1 hit combined for Freddie and Mookie Betts. Well, now you've taken a lot of pressure off those 2 stars because the opposing team is so focused on trying to stop Shohei Ohtani. And the best example that you can have for that is, what did we see in Game 1? Aaron Boone, he comes out and he makes the pitching change to go with Nestor Cortez to face Shohei Ohtani. And that move was all about that. And Shohei, first pitch, he fouled out to left, and Alex Verdugo made that great catch. But the move to get Nestor Cortez in the game, a guy who hadn't pitched since September 18th, was to face Shohei Ohtani and set up that lefty-lefty matchup, and then to intentionally walk to get to Freddie Freeman. So he's always going to have his influence on the outcome, on the game, no matter what, because of how much pressure that you have in the opposing team. They're hell-bent on trying to stop this guy. I mean, look at Mike Schilt in the NLDS. He said the plan for San Diego was to try to get Shohei Ohtani out as many times as they could and keep the bases empty for when he was at the plate. So when your entire game plan is focused on trying to neutralize one guy, well, that allows other hitters on the team to get better pitches to hit. And anytime a pitcher gets out Ohtani, tries to take a deep breath, I mean, you see what's going to happen next. You're going to get a big hitter right behind him that is going to face a pitcher that just either emptied the tank or on a concentration level really did everything they could to try to get out Shohei. So I hate this narrative that Shohei Ohtani's struggling, this and that. Look, Shohei Ohtani is going to be just fine, and we're all happy that he is going to be good to go for Game 3. As of right now, that appears to be the plan. But let me know down below in the comment section, what are your thoughts on Shohei Ohtani playing in Game 3? Do you expect it? And do you expect to have a big series? So let's dive into the comments. We got Cole. Ohtani doesn't need to hit hard to get it out of that Little League right field. That's a great point right there. I'm looking for a short porch bomb in that bandbox. You're right. Little League World Series. No, this is the World Series, and that definitely is a smaller field there. I'm going to give you a nice little comment of the show. For that, I'm going to give you a fire take, actually. Fire take. For that one, we got Max Fried, Flaherty, Teo, and Buehler, some Ricky Vasquez. We'll talk Soto. We'll talk free agency. Don't worry. You guys know what I live for. That's a player acquisition. We'll talk about that. Davis Sabatini, what's going on? What is up? We got Diane Schroeder in the chat. What's up, Diane Schroeder? Always represent. Really appreciate that. The fairy godmother of the Dodgers Nation live streams. We got to Ohtani wants to win, but he needs to let the game come to him. That's from Branco. Yeah, you've seen him get impatient at the plate. You've seen some big swings early in counts. I mean, look at the foul out in the 9th inning that thankfully, hey, history was on Freddie Freeman's side, so we know he wanted to get to Freeman to get that walk-off grand slam, first time in big league history in the World Series. And then also, yeah, you've seen him expand the zone at times too, and he's usually only getting 1 or 2 pitches to hit per at bat, so that certainly is something to consider as well, and it's only a matter of time. It's coming, and I think New York, the big stage, the bright lights, it's going to be box office, heavyweight title fight level vibes in NYC. So it does feel like that's the stage for him. And oh, by the way, I want to apologize. I want to apologize for this terrible news, this awful news for those Yankees fans that were booing, that were giving Shohei Ohtani the middle finger at that bar in New York when he was writhing in pain. The face of the league is writhing in pain, and you're happy and celebrating. I'm so sorry to those Yankees fans that this ruined your Sunday, that Shohei Ohtani, a guy that's out here just, I don't know, saving baseball and putting it back in the national conversation. I don't know. So I'm so sorry to those Yankee fans. I know that this good news for Dodgers fans was horrible news for you because you wanted to see, I don't know, Shohei Ohtani's arm get amputated or whatever the hell you were disgracefully cheering. You should be embarrassed. And that's not all Yankees fans. I know a lot of great Yankees fans, but those fans should be absolutely embarrassed for that. That's just ugly behavior. Baseball gods don't like ugly. And when Shohei goes deep, I'm going to be thinking of those fans. But we got Elias Elizondo. After Ice Cube performed Bow Down and today was a good day, there was no way we were losing that game. Man, I've honestly, so this weekend I've probably seen the Freddie Freeman home run, man, honestly, probably 70 times, like straight up. Ice Cube performance, I've watched that a good dozen times too. I just loved it. Walking in from center field, he's playing Bow Down. You got Alex Verdugo. Right next to Jazz Chisholm. And Alex Verdugo, I don't know if he thought he still had a Dodgers hat on, a Dodgers jersey, if he was in the wrong dugout, but he's bumping to that. And then you have Ice Cube out there changing the lyrics of the song to basically call out the Yankees a little bit, which I thought was just fun. I mean, it wasn't malicious or anything like that, but I thought that was a great performance. And he changed the lyrics of Today Was a Good Day and add some baseball themed lyrics into that. And then I love that too. I mean, hey, it wasn't about the Lakers being the Supersonics. It was about the Dodgers being the Yankees. And they certainly did that in Game 2. And to think Ice Cube was a part of that is pretty cool. And I'm waiting to see too, who's warming up. I mean, if this is a battle, West Coast, East Coast, hey, New York, you got 24 hours to respond. Who we getting tomorrow? Are we getting Nas? Are we getting Jay-Z? I mean, for me, big fan of the Wu-Tang Clan. It'd be great to see them too. But who we getting? I mean, you guys. I mean, is there? I guess would we have already known by now? Because I know that I did get an email about the press release for that. We got a per Ice Cube, so we'll see if New York has anything in store. Lakers running it down. 499 super chat. Let's break baseball. Yeah, we'll get to that. Let me see if we can get that. We don't need Soto. With that, Rod Will said Nando's wife took his iPad away. Nando, Freedom 499 super chat. Before this is over, my man, Mount Muncie. Yeah, totally. We got let's go. I'm gonna read these super chats. Give me 1 second here because you guys are firing away down below in the comment section. No doubt about it. Roberts managing the Yankees would be a different series. Their manager sucks. Wow. So now we're getting completely 180 vibes here. I've heard Yankees fans say that the MVP of this series for the Dodgers is Aaron Boone. So that lets you know how things are going. That lets you know how people are feeling in Yankees land. So for once, wait a second, people showing Dave Roberts love, people kind of realizing what we have in Doc Roberts. So kind of loving the Dave Roberts positivity vibes here. We got Soto was doing Machado antics during these 2 games. That's from Alex Renteria. Mike Rain, Ohtani just needs one arm from Mike Rain. We have Rainbow Mouse, G.O.D., God to the Dodgers confirmed. Dodgers need to sign Ricky Vaughn. That's from Jason Diamond. What's up, Brian Gax? We got Ricky Vasquez. D-Mac, when are you getting a Torta sponsorship for DN? Working on it right now. We are working on it right now. If you're a Torta company out there that makes the best, most delicious tortas in Los Angeles, that'd be cool to have you sponsor the show because definitely my favorite lunch, and I have it for dinner as well sometimes. Even honestly, I'll crush a torta at breakfast too if it's from the right spot. We got Blau K. Somebody has apparently been looking at Max Fried on video games because that man is not cooked. I love it when Stephen A. Smith calls Soto Soho, Ricky Vasquez. Yeah, it's always fun this time of year when you got all these national pundits like the Stephen A. Smiths of the world that's like you can tell it's like the second or third baseball game they've watched all season long and they're trying to talk on. It's like, no, man. But it's all love. Remember when Stephen A. said that Shohei couldn't be the face of baseball because he didn't speak fluent English? Man, talk about that's up there. It's got to be up there with Max Kellerman's take about Tom Brady falling off, and that was the end of Tom Brady. Also has to be up there with Colin Cowherd's one on Ben Simmons. Don't worry, guys. Not every take's going to be 100%. You're not going to bat 1,000. Yankees worst fans of baseball. I wouldn't say that. I think the Yankees have a lot of really good fans. They have a great big fan base. It's just when you have a great big fan base, you're going to have some bad apples. So I'm not going to go out there and call it the entire fan base. But there were some Yankees fans at Game 2. And they were trying to get that "Let's Go Yankees" chant going, and thankfully it was tons of Dodgers fans just drowning that out. But we got West Side from Rod Wilson. Hell no to Cocky Soto from Jay Lee over on YouTube. Jaden says Verdugo dancing had me dying. It really did, Jaden. I mean, honestly, I liked it. I thought it was cool. Rosemary Rodriguez, Verdugo forgot he wasn't a Dodger anymore, and Freddie realized he's not in the OC anymore. Oh, yeah, the shot of Freddie Freeman, too, was pretty priceless. He didn't know what to do. But, hey, Freddie, you're never buying a drink in L.A. ever again. Can't wait for the Freddie bobblehead next year with the Statue of Liberty bat drop. Absolutely iconic. Rainbow House. What's going on? We got Jay Lee represent the Dodgers. Here we go. Ice Cube, LOL. Today was a good day from Kathy. BC, what's up, BC? From the South Bay to the Valley, from the West Side to the East Side. Gregory, let's go Walker Buehler. Oh, so is Fat Joe performing? Did they already announce that? 50 Cent, possibly. Daddy Yankee. Yeah, I got to get confirmation for that. We got the Yankees bringing out Ice Spice. That's from Jose Aguirre. Doogie was feeling it during the Ice Cube performance. Let's keep going down here. Jay-Z would be iconic. Never gets old. Oh, we got Love the Hat D-Mac. Yeah, definitely got to get these hats popping. These Dodgers Nation hat, the gray one. Dodgers in 4. Oh, wow. A sweep would be pretty wild from Eddie. K Bonilla 2.0 499 super chat. The only way I see the Yanks winning is if Judge, Soto, and Stanton go on a home run tear. Boone makes logical decisions, and Carlos Rondon had a great game. We got Juan Vargas, signed Teo, and Kike over Soto. Yeah, we're talking about a difference about 430 to 50 to 500 million there potentially. But I think they could use that money in other ways. We'll talk about that. 199 super chat. Justin Sutterfield, NY has Diddy performing, giving away baby oil. Okay, well, I'm gonna have to give you a bruh for that one. Bruh. But it's my man Noise by Noel. Breakfast tortas be hitting differently. How about my man Noise by Noel? hanging out. You guys know him. You love him. Noel Sanchez. Go give him a follow over on Instagram. He's always cooking up our fire social media content. A little fire take from my man Noise by Noel. CJ stinks. Soto doesn't have defense. Yeah, he's got a great bat. So let's shift gears and talk about a juicy, delicious, actually $5 super chat from Charlie Toms. I admit it, I was a critic during the division series, but I owe Dave an apology. Great management of the pen. So I like that take, but... And Dave, to me, has done a masterclass as far as bullpen management goes, as far as understanding of feel and not panicking and going out there and trusting guys to give you 4-out appearances, have some up downs, and when to use the bullpen and when not to use the bullpen. And you'll go with leverage guys and low leverage guys in certain situations. But let's get 2 more wins. And then we'll give Dave Roberts all the flowers in the land if he does that. We got a Tom O'Gorman at 27 super chat. Do you think we get big game Buehler in game 3? It's a good question. I mean, look, Walker Buehler did have his best start in game 3 of the NLCS. And it was extremely encouraging because we've seen him gut out certain starts. But the big difference in game 3 of that series was you saw more swing and miss. And the swing and miss for him has been few and far between since he's returned. He got 18 swings and misses in that game. He also was able to get 6 strikeouts in 4 innings of work and gave up just 3 hits. But if everyone's acting like that we got 2018 Walker Buehler, everyone's all acting like we got 2019 Walker Buehler. I think the thing that I want to see is 5 or 6 innings, or at least pitch into the 6th inning. As good as he looked with the swing and miss, as good as he looked, he only went 4 innings. And yes, you're up 2-0. You're in the driver's seat in this series. You got over an 80% chance of winning in a 7-game series when you take the first 2 games. But having said that, you definitely want to get as many innings as you can. That was kind of one of the big takeaways from the first 2 games is you got 2 really, really good starts from the top 2 starters in your rotation in Jack Flaherty and Yoshinobu Yamamoto. So can he match that or get close to it? That's the big question, because in 2018, he was a different animal. He was a different animal in 2018, and we saw how he looked, and it was just a different beast as far as the velocity goes and the attack plan. So I do think that we're going to get a Walker Buehler that has evolved, that has definitely become more of a pitcher than a thrower, and I expect good results from him. I mean, I don't think we're going to get 6 or 7 out of him, but I think 4 or 5 is realistic, and he's smart. He's a very intelligent pitcher, and the thing about Walker Buehler is he's going to go into the start knowing that he can't let Soto, Judge, and Stanton beat him. And he's got to work around the other guys in the lineup and let this offense get the job done as well. So I don't think we're going to get lights out Walker Buehler. I think it's going to be a little bit of a lower octane butane, but I still think that he's going to go out there and he's going to pitch well enough to give this team a chance to win. And there's going to be a lot of pressure on this Yankees team. This is a Yankees team that has felt pressure from their fans, and you haven't won a World Series in 15 years, which for them feels like 1,500 years when you consider that. And I think that they're going to be pressing if the Dodgers get an early lead, and that's only going to help Walker Buehler. So I just expect the thing about Buehler is it's never going to be for lack of effort, lack of heart, lack of preparation, and you got to hope for the best for him. We have Victor Banos, $20. Mr. Miyagi working Ohtani's shoulder. He is going yard. I love that. I love that, Victor. Let's give you a little comment of the show. That'd be a great way to pay. I hope that wherever he hits that home run, that fan who was giving the middle finger, hope it lands right towards him. He can catch that ball, and he can do what he wants with it, like, shove it up his, I'm just playing. But Rod Wilson, Busta Rhymes opening game 3. Oh, that'd be kind of cool. West Side will always be superior to the East Coast. It's not even close. Angel Escobar. We got the Dodgers in 6 from Paul Charles. Jay-Z ready to... Okay, you guys are talking all that crazy stuff. Claudia 11, looking forward to Walker pitching tomorrow. Yeah, let me know down below in the comment section. Do you think we will see big game Walker Buehler? How many innings, strikeouts will he have? How many runs will he give up? Let me know down below. Fish Tank Frank, 199 super chat. Pair character doing shaka sign with his hands saying cool. Yeah, exactly. I love that. Mike Petty, Shoestring Ohtani. we got he has. I think that is a very. I mean, that's just basically, hey, just say you don't know baseball. I mean, tell us you don't know ball without telling us you don't know ball. I mean, that's just the truth. Rosemary Rodriguez, if the Dodgers win, does Roberts deserve a encouragement? Absolutely. I mean, if that's from Rosemary, will Dave Roberts? I mean, it's not like if he retired tomorrow, would he be a lock? But I do think that when you look at his 9 seasons and everything he's done for this franchise, when you look at the World Series appearances, the pennants that he's had, I mean, you're talking about a guy that has already taken this team to 4 World Series. I mean, 2017 they lost, 2018 they lost, they won in 2020, and they're in a good position to take it in 2024. Job's not finished. I'm not counting this as a victory yet, but yeah, you look at managers that have won multiple World Series in all these 100-win seasons, and also, look, if he wins this World Series, he's going to manage here for a couple more years, and we could see a dynasty. You could see multiple World Series titles, and I do think, I've said it already, I said it heading into this postseason, that if he gets 4 wins in the Fall Classic, he's going to be in Cooperstown. And you look at the history of managers, yeah, he absolutely is on a Hall of Fame track, and that's just the truth of the matter, objectively speaking. So let's talk about the big rumor, though. You guys have been so many super chats. $5, I bet you anything. Shohei is, come on, man. Sneaky Panda. This is a family show here. Bruh. Can't be reading all that stuff. Hey, never mind. My grandma watches this show. Come on now. I appreciate it, though. Claudia 11, Walker has pitched in the postseason, so he knows the pressure. I think he'll find confidence. I do. And look, he has got a big opportunity to put himself in a position on a big stage to show the Dodgers organization, the teams around the league, that he is deserving of a larger contract than just a 1-year bet on yourself deal. I know that is what he wants for himself. I mean, he can say it's all about winning and trying to help this team, but he's got a major opportunity financially tomorrow as well. So let's not forget that. And he did say before the series that he would like to be with the Dodgers for as long as that they would keep him. And when you consider some of the question marks in this rotation, Tyler Glasnow, we'll see how he fares. He is claiming everything's going right now, and you hope so that is the case, and he's going to avoid surgery. And I think that right now you could feel pretty good about that. There are some questions. I mean, Yamamoto looks good right now. How will they handle him next season, considering he missed almost 3 months? And then you've got Clayton Kershaw, who's already said he's going to pick up that $5 million club option. Shohei Ohtani will be back. Gavin Stone's out for the year. So there is a path to Walker Buehler returning to this team, or you go out there and sign someone else. But, okay, so let's talk about Juan Soto. John Heyman of the New York Post, he wrote today in his column, quote, the Dodgers are halfway to beating the Yankees in the World Series, and word is they have interest in signing Yankees superstar Juan Soto, according to people familiar with their thinking. The Dodgers, already arguably baseball's best offense, it's either them or the Yankees, intend to make a play for Soto, quote, if he's interested in coming, sources say. Many do see the Yankees and Mets holding an edge in the highly anticipated free agent derby, since there are suggestions around the league early in his tenure that in San Diego that the Dominican star preferred to be on the East Coast, where he started with the Nationals in Washington. But while he may prefer the East, word is there was an excellent chance he was going to re-sign with the Padres last summer before beloved Padres owner Peter Seidler took ill and passed away. Okay, so look, I'm here for a 2 Dodger dogs on the rumor meter. You got people are talking, okay? So let's break down these statements chunk for chunk here, and we'll try to make sense of this. So he says in the first part that the Dodgers intend to make a play for Soto if he's interested. So that tells you right there that the Dodgers are willing to spend more big-time money this offseason. That the Dodgers are willing, despite spending more money than any team combined last offseason as far as overall commitment, that they're willing to pursue the top free agent this free agency. That they're willing to go top of the market once again for a Juan Soto. But the quote there is if he's interested. So does Juan Soto want to go back to the West Coast? Well, as John Heyman pointed out in the second part, that Juan Soto was deep into extension talks with the Padres. And there was a lot of talk within the industry that the Padres had a pretty decent chance of locking him up long term if they could get the numbers right. And unfortunately, Peter Seidler passed away, and then the Padres ultimately traded Juan Soto to the Yankees. And he does feel like an East Coast guy. Dominican Republic, that's where he's from. It's closer to there than it is to the West Coast. But this is Juan Soto. And Juan Soto realizes that he's already done it all as far as winning a World Series. Hasn't won an MVP. He'll win an MVP at some point. But Juan Soto, I think, is going to keep his options open. And I think if you're the Dodgers, do you go and say, look, we know that we're not going to be able to get that deferred contract where Shohei Ohtani deferred 97% of his contract to give the Dodgers some flexibility and make it easier to spend money to acquire talent. I mean, that was part of the deal is, hey, I'm going to defer 97% of this contract up until 2034, and then you're going to go out there and you're going to pursue talent so we can build a dynasty. We can compete for more World Series titles. And I think the Dodgers are a team that realizes that it's, at this point, more of a surprise if they weren't involved with a big-time free agent. It'd be more of a shock if you did not see the Dodgers linked to the top names available. And in this case, the quote is, if he's interested. So is Juan Soto interested at all with signing with the Dodgers, with living in LA, with being a part of this super duper team? That would be the super team of all super team, the Galacticos of Major League Baseball. That would be the all-time super team. Look at the top four in that lineup. Shohei Ohtani, Mookie Betts, Juan Soto, Freddie Freeman. That's the top four in the history of the game. You're talking about all future first ballot Hall of Famers. And you look at Freddie Freeman, he'd be going into his fourth year of a 6-year contract. So you still have Freddie for 3 more seasons, but if you do sign Juan Soto, it could be 11, 12, or 13 years. So you'd be locking up that elite left-handed bat to pair with Shohei Ohtani and Mookie Betts for the duration of this run. You still have Mookie Betts for 8 seasons after this year. You have Shohei Ohtani for 9 seasons after this year. You have Freddie for 3 seasons, and he is 35, and he's going to be the first baseman for as long as he's going to be here. But it could be a way to saying, look, we're locking up elite players. And you look at Juan Soto, he's 26 years old. I mean, he has so much prime left that you could legitimately, when you look at Juan Soto's age and how good he is and how disciplined he is and how special he is as a hitter, you could get 8 to 9 years out of him where he's still an all-star level hitter. That's how good Juan Soto is. So you're talking about an entire run with Shohei Ohtani, Juan Soto, and you still have Mookie Betts that I still think has 4 or 5, maybe even 6 prime years left. Definitely, I think 3, 4, 5. With Mookie Betts, I mean, you're going to see the prime drop off a little bit, but this is going to take a lot of pressure off of him because you do have Shohei in the mix as the superstar face of your franchise in his prime. And if you add a Juan Soto, you take even more pressure off of him. And then you also consider the fact that this is a deal that you would have to sign that's not going to get the deferred money. And if you look at Shohei Ohtani's contract, the $700 million, well, the truth of the matter is that contract, when it comes to the real money, you're looking at a present-day value of $437.8 million of present-day value. Juan Soto is widely expected to sign a deal that is north of $500 million. So when it comes to present-day value, you're not going to see the $700 million on the bottom-line ticker when Juan Soto signs, but he's going to sign for more present-day value than Shohei Ohtani did. It's going to be more than $500 million. And you're not going to see all those deferrals like we saw with Shohei Ohtani because Juan Soto is represented by Scott Boras, 1, and 2, Juan Soto, he's got some nice endorsement deals, but they're nothing like Shohei Ohtani, who's making $50, $60, $70, $80 million a year on just endorsements alone. So when you consider all those factors, it really has to come down to his interest level. If Juan Soto is interested in signing with the Dodgers and the Dodgers are willing to pay him, you sign Juan Soto. I'm letting you know that right now. I'm letting you know that right now. Don't tell me you want to, let's spend it on Willie Adames and Corbin Burns and Teo and all. No. Juan Soto is a player that's going to be talked about until the end of time in Major League Baseball. He's that special of a player. He is in the tier of players that Mookie and Freddie are in. As far as I'm concerned, no one's in Shohei Ohtani's tier when it comes to hitting and pitching, right? He's tier 1. No one's sitting at that table, right? I mean, you got Bullet Joe Rogan way back in the day, but that's another conversation, right? But when it comes to where Soto's at, if you can get that elite left-handed hitter and you can find a way to sign him, I'm not saying they will, because I think, I'll get into my takes on why this story was reported when it was in a second, but if you can, you do it, because the truth of the matter is the Dodgers, they're making so much money on Shohei Ohtani. They're making so much money on you, the fan, on getting 50,000+ every single night at Dodger Stadium all summer long. They're selling out jerseys at a record rate. Everything that has Dodgers on it. I mean, it is unbelievable. I was at the Long Beach Aquarium today. Shout out to the Dodgers fans that I met there. And I was playing a game. How many Dodgers hats can you count? And I lost count. Find someone in LA that's not wearing a Dodgers hat right now. Okay, so you're making tons of money. You're pouring it back into your franchise. You've got the TV deal. You got the TV deal from Guggenheim, and that alone is absolutely insane. You're looking at that deal. I mean, that TV deal alone, it's $8.35 billion. So can the Dodgers afford it? Sure they could. It just matters, is Juan Soto interested? And if you look at where the Dodgers are at financially for 2025, their payroll's at $257.2 million. And you're talking about a luxury tax number, it's around $253 million. And that puts the Dodgers over that Cohen tax threshold once again. And that threshold sits at $241 million. So if you do add Juan Soto at $50+ million per year for his AAV, you're looking at a club that's in the $300 million range, $301 million, and you've already paid the tax for the last 4 seasons. So you go past $301 million, that's going to double the team's tax on any overages past that $241 million mark. So it's a ton of money. I've done videos where I'm breaking this down to the dollar, and we've talked about it. But bottom line is, if you're willing to pay that amount and you have the deferred money with Shohei and you're making money through deep runs in the World Series, and Andrew Friedman has said he wants this to be the golden age of Dodger baseball, well, you really only get the opportunity to sign players like Juan Soto very seldomly. And the truth is, you need another outfielder. And Teoscar Hernandez, I'd love to see him back for sure at the right price, but he's 31. Soto's 26, okay? And you got the best year from Teoscar Hernandez. You got an all-star season, All-Star Hernandez. You got a home run derby champion for the first time in Dodgers history. But let's be honest. I mean, if Teoscar Hernandez is a Ferrari, then Juan Soto is a Bugatti, right? I mean, it's just, let's just be honest. I mean, we're talking about all-time great player hitter potentially in Juan Soto. I mean, hell, I think too, when you consider where the Dodgers are at as well, they need to be opportunistic with any type of money they're using, right? I mean, I could see them going after a top-flight starting pitcher to add to this mix because of all the injuries they suffered, because of the fact they realize how expensive it is at the deadline to go out there and acquire talent. I've always said the Dodgers, they like to buy the Halloween candy the day after Halloween when it's at half price, when you can get better value on it. Well, when you're buying that talent at the deadline, you have to pay a big just to get big-time talent. And we always see these names that are rumored to be available. They ultimately don't get traded. I mean, how long was Tariq Skubal involved in trade rumors? How long was Garrett Crochet involved in trade rumors? Both those guys, despite talks with other teams, weren't moved. And the best pitcher that was moved was Jack Flaherty, who has contributed in a major way to the Dodgers team. He's been a big part of this run. And then, I mean, you say Kikuchi. I mean, you've had some names that have been on that second tier, but nothing of the top ace flight starting pitchers. I mean, Corbin Burns was traded in the offseason, right? Dylan Cease, he went previously as well. So, I mean, a lot of the big names don't get moved. So I think the Dodgers are kind of going out there and possibly looking at, do they go after a Corbin Burns? Do you consider a Max Fried? Will you get a Roki Sasaki? I'm pretty convinced at this point that the Dodgers aren't done with their starting rotation in 2025, and they want to add another frontline guy just in the event that you don't want to be in this situation again in the postseason where you have basically 2 to 2.5 starters as far as overall innings are concerned. So I think that's it's something as well. But, hey, if Juan Soto wants to sign with your team, you do it. And that's just as simple as that, especially if you have the money, especially if you're already showing some interest in it. And the truth is that this is Jon Heyman, and Jon Heyman is the mouthpiece for Scott Boras. And I do think that there is a little bit of Jon Heyman doing this shilling for Scott Boras in this one, because Scott Boras knows that the market for Juan Soto, it's not a big market. It's not a robust market because there's not a lot of teams that can afford a Juan Soto or are willing to. I mean, I won't get into the fact that 27 of the 30 owners, 28 out of the 30 owners are billionaires, some multi-billionaires, but hey, let's digress on that point. It's a whole separate conversation. Yes, owners should spend more money on players, but Jon Heyman realizes that if it's just the Mets and the Yankees and maybe the Phillies get in the mix, hey, let's throw in a West Coast team. Let's throw in the West Coast team. Let's throw in the preeminent West Coast team. Let's throw in the team that has taken the top spot in baseball. I'll say it right now. The Dodgers have passed the Yankees as far as right now, as far as being the most interesting team. They have passed the Yankees right now. Even if they don't beat them and get 2 more wins, more people are talking about the Dodgers because it's Shohei Ohtani. Let's just make that clear, okay? And I don't think that's even a debate at this point, okay? You have a once-in-a-sport level player, and Shohei Ohtani is going to be pitching again next season. So if you're Jon Heyman, it feels like, okay, I got to do my boy Scott Boras a solid. It's the day in between Game 3. This story feels like it was written a month ago. This story feels like it was concocted a month ago to try to put the Dodgers in there. You got the Dodgers as a great clickbait option. People are like myself are going to do an episode at 9:46 at night Pacific time on it because I couldn't help myself. I was trying to give myself a break, but I couldn't do it. You know what I mean? But you look at Juan Soto, and that's kind of thing. You want to put scare tactics out there. I mean, hell, get the Giants involved. Hell, get other teams involved if you can, and hope that a bidding war starts. And if you're the Dodgers, hey, I'm involved. You know why? Because I know that right now in Major League Baseball, it's an arm race. It's an arms race as far as the teams that spend are the teams that win. The teams that spend are the teams that make it deep into the postseason. I mean, you look at this era of Major League Baseball, 3 of the 4 teams in the championship series were top 5 payroll teams. 6 of the 8 teams in the DS round were top 10 in payroll. If you're a fan of a team that's not willing to spend and you're not willing to go north of $200+ million to put together a team, I've got bad news for you. It's going to be 1, 2, 3 Cancun for you in August, in September, right? You got to spend. And I don't want to hear this talk about, oh, you need a salary cap. Salary caps aren't good for players. And Major League Baseball has the strongest player use union in all of sports. You're not going to have a salary cap. Now, I think I would like to see a salary floor. Definitely. I definitely would be in favor of that. But still, I think that you look at Major League Baseball right now, it's teams that spend. The Dodgers spend. The Dodgers feel like, to me, like they're a team that's owned by a billionaire, a multi-billionaire that's a fan, right? I almost feel like the Dodgers are run by a fan because they're a fan of this team's success. They're a fan of this team's history. They want to go out there and spend. A lot of the other owners in Major League Baseball, they're fans of money. They're fans of revenue. They want to spend as little money as they can so they can pocket the most profit. The Dodgers are out there saying, hey, man, let's do it. Let's roll, baby. Let's make history. We're making a lot of money, but we're spending a lot of money. And you got to respect that for this Dodgers team. But let me know down below in the comment section. We'll do more deep dives. You guys know, man, we're gonna be talking Juan Soto all off season and other free agent possibilities. And the Dodgers do need a shortstop potentially. I was told that Gavin Lux could be a possibility again, that they might try that route again. And if Gavin Lux, you can figure him out at shortstop, which who knows? I mean, I pointed this out during spring training, is the arm strength for him is similar to Dansby Swanson. It's just about the lower body wasn't ready to kind of commit and get in great positions to make those throws. And we saw him a couple years ago when Corey Seager was out in 2021 after he got hit by a Ross Detweiler pitch and he missed some time, that he did an adequate job there. Now, can he play that position full-time? He's still young enough. He's athletic enough. Remains to be seen. But you also have Tommy Edman. And Tommy Edman can be your starting shortstop. And if any of those happen, well, then Mookie Betts goes on the dirt. If Mookie Betts goes on the dirt, they need another outfielder, right? So Juan Soto in Dodger blue. Could you just imagine? Can you imagine? That would absolutely break. That would break the internet. We thought Shohei Ohtani broke the internet. Yeah, it did because of the Dodgers. But the hate will be double, triple that, because the Dodgers would be unstoppable. The Death Star would be fully operational. And this time it's not going down by the Rebel Alliance. We got Boris is overrated from Oscar. We got, but let me know. I want all your Boris takes. And I know I got some super chats to get into for sure. My man Noel hooking it up. Thank you, my man. Oh, my goodness. We got tons here to get into. So let's fire off these super chats. Appreciate you guys rocking with us on a Dodgers Dugout Live After Dark. You guys like the late night shows? The little Dodgers Dugout Live After Dark, man. You know, we can't resist. We can't resist. When I saw that Soto thing, I had to do it. Had to do it. We got K Bonilla 2.0 499. The only way I see the Yankees winning is if Judge and Stanton go on a home run tear. Yeah, we got to that one. We got we got a lot of guys killing it with the super chats tonight. We got Devin $2 Torta. We got Brian Montaz $5. Soto equals the last Infinity Stone. Yeah. And I remember saying in the off season that after they had signed Shohei Ohtani, that Shohei Ohtani was the last Infinity Stone. Well, hey, I guess he's getting more fingers and getting more stones. But I'll give you a nice little comment of the show for that. What's up, my man Ryan Montaz?
You win. Perfect.
We got a $9.99 super chat from Freedom. I think it's way past time to put a lid on max pay. It's out of control for the average fan to take a family to a regular game. Don't tell me I'm wrong. It's a reality. I agree with that. I mean, definitely want to make it more affordable for sure. Give you a fire take for that. Mike Lopez, $2. I'm stuck on high-speed chase near downtown LA. What? Devin, $2. Soto to LA is dependent on if Soto likes LA tortas. Gonna get a bruh for that one. But, yeah, I mean, bruh. We get, appreciate you for that one. No doubt about it. But, some more comments down below, guys. We got Stanton would be the Infinity Stone. Paul Charles Thomas Edman, starting center fielder in 2025. Paul Charles, I think that's definitely the direction it's heading, especially when you have a club option on Miguel Rojas. You do have the club option on Miguel Rojas, and the thing there is, it's not like he could be their starting shortstop for a full 162-game season at age 36. That's unrealistic. I do think that the team would like to pick up that $5 million club option, but you also remember, too, Kike Hernandez, no one's really kind of mentioned it right now because they're so caught up in this postseason run, and rightfully so. We're all living in Dodger heaven right now, loving this blue Dodger fever that we're going through right now in the postseason. But he's going to be a free agent. I mean, Kike is going to be a free agent. I think there's no doubt about it. You bring Kike Hernandez back, and he's only signed for $4 million. I know, only $4 million. I'm talking baseball money here. So you got to bring him back as well. We got Showtime has red shoe diaries. DMAC has blue shoe diaries. What's up, Cole? The boxing tour. Yeah, Judge stopped using PEDs, and that's why he's dry. Oh, come on now. Don't be like that. Aaron Judge is just a big dude. Paul Point. Don Kim, Dodgers become and stay they ain't like us by spending money and signing the likes of Betts, Freeman, Ohtani when opportunity strikes. Yeah, absolutely. They not like us. Other teams aren't like the Dodgers, especially when it comes to building perennial championship contenders. Totally. Tommy Edman is enough from Boom Shakalaka. Matthew Vasquez, y'all happy knowing we own the NL West and Major League Baseball? Grumpy 45 Dino says $2. Winning the series, is Freeman a Hall of Famer as a Dodger or a Brave? So I talked about this after he hit the walk-off grand slam, and a couple things I said. The first thing I mentioned was, doesn't matter what Freddie Freeman ever did with the Braves. It doesn't matter that he did play first base when they got that final out in 2021, and that pretty much would have been my image, the indelible moment for Freddie Freeman for me, but now it's forever. Nothing. I mean, what is he going to do? Hit another walk-off grand slam in a World Series? Is he going to do that again? Because unless he does that again, or, I don't know, picks up the baseball and starts pitching like Shohei Ohtani and have a perfect game like Don Larson in the World Series, if he does any of those things, yeah, maybe. But, yeah, from here until eternity, the image you think of when you say the name Freddie Freeman is his walk-off grand slam against the New York Yankees in Game 1 of the 2024 World Series. And then, if he wins a World Series, that means he'll have one World Series title with the Dodgers and one with the Braves. And, of course, who was the World Series MVP in 2021? It was Mr. Jorge Soler. Soler power really cranked that Braves team past the Astros in that series. Right now, if Freddie Freeman continues his success, even though Tommy Edman leads the team in hits, I mean, Freddie Freeman's 3 for 9, hitting .333 with a 1555 OPS. And, oh, by the way, the grand slam heard around the world, right? So Freddie Freeman will have a World Series MVP potentially. Let's think best case scenario. It's a Sunday night. Vibes are high. The vibe check's pretty immaculate right now. Let's just kind of go with it. Let's say they get 2 more wins and Freddie Freeman wins World Series MVP. That means, checks notes, Freddie Freeman's World Series that he has the Dodgers, he had a bigger impact in than the one he had with the Braves. And he also had the biggest moment in his career and one of the most iconic moments in the history of Major League Baseball with that grand slam. And then, let's add this. His last 2 years were better than any years he ever had with the Braves. Think about this. In 2023, his age 33 season in 2023, he had .331, had a 163 OPS plus, so he was 63% above league average, led the league in doubles with 59, also hit 29 home runs, had 102 RBIs. So the most doubles he had ever hit in a season was 59 that year. The previous high for doubles in a season was 2022 when he hit 47, and he was also with the Dodgers. So if you look at his OPS, yes, 2020, he did win MVP that year, but that was he played 60 games that season, and not diminishing that, but let's be honest, would he have had an 1102 OPS through a full 162 game season? I mean, that's difficult to project, but his two best seasons as far as his full season go, I mean, 2017 was a really good year for him. He had 28 home runs, but I think 2023 and 2022 had 2 really good years. So, yeah, I think he would have to win another World Series. I think if he wins 2 with the Dodgers and has a World Series MVP, I think you could see him possibly consider that, especially when you look at how things ended with the Braves, too. He was drafted there, he developed there, and he loved it there. He wanted to stay there, but Alex Anthopoulos did not want to pay him. They went out there and they traded for Matt Olson. It kind of felt like a Woody and Buzz Lightyear situation where he was Woody and they had the new guy, the new flashy toy in town, and they didn't want to go with him. So, yeah, it would take a little more than just this year, I think. I think it would take another World Series, a couple more elite all-star seasons, and then I think you can have that conversation. But I don't know. For some reason, I love talking about that kind of stuff. I don't know about you guys. It's fun for me. But some more comments here, guys, and I'll let you guys enjoy the rest of your Sunday night. Kind of a little emergency episode here. Got the Shohei news, which is good news. You got the Soto news, which is very interesting news, to say the least. But let's read more of your comments here. DS, the Yankees will need to bang trash cans to win. I'm always here. I'm always here for anything Trastros slander.
Finish him.
Norm B. If Buehler can keep the Yankees off balance like Jack and Yamamoto did in games 1 and 2, we have a good chance of winning game 3. Totally. Alan, hey, D-Mac, time to worry about Blake Treinen. I think it's time to worry about his workload. I mean, he was going on back-to-back days. He pitched 22 pitches in game 1, 33 pitches in game 2. He's been giving up singles. He's been allowing base runners, but he's found a way to get the job done, right? I think that's kind of the most important thing. And then on top of that, he does have that veteran factor, and unfortunately, you lose Evan Phillips, and Evan Phillips was that bridge to get to Blake Treinen. So you don't have Evan Phillips, so it puts a little more pressure on Blake Treinen. I don't think it's time to worry about him yet, just for the simple fact that, I mean, if you look at even his performance there before he had to go to Vesia, he did strike out Aaron Judge, and that alone can make you feel pretty good. And then he did kind of miss a pitch to Anthony Volpe, and Anthony Volpe missed a meatball there that he could have done damage to that would have tied the game. But hey, I mean, it's a result-based business, and Blake Treinen has gotten the job done. I mean, let's just be honest. But I do think the pitch count has been high. Like I said, 22 pitches in game 1. He had a walk, gave up a run, and he gave up a hit. And then yesterday, he went 2/3 of an inning, gave up 3 hits. Didn't have 2 strikeouts, though, so I still like the swing and miss. I still like the punch. As long as the strikeouts are there and the stuff is still nasty, it passes the eye test as well. And they're going to need Blake Treinen to win this series. I mean, let's be honest. Blake Treinen, pretty good chance the Dodgers, he probably gets that final out there. We got, if they go on to win it. Eddie Hung, Dodgers are the real deal. All Dodgers want is a World Series trophy. Totally agree. But a couple more here, guys, and then we are going to see you tomorrow. Come join us tomorrow at 12 o'clock for Dodgers Dugout Live. Got a big jam-packed show for you. Got some guests, so definitely join us for Dodgers Dugout Live in the morning. Bilal K, thank you so much. We got the Dodgers have 12 pending free agents this year. Kershaw will choose to return, so make it 11. Treinen should be the only one we tried to re-sign. Everyone else gets out of the way of improvements coming in. Yeah, no doubt about it. We'll have tons of time to get into that offseason. But that's going to do it for this episode of Dodgers Dugout Live. My name is Doug McCain. You can follow me on X and Instagram at DMAC_LA. If you haven't yet, subscribe to the channel. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that notification bell. And if you want to do me a huge favor and you want to send good vibes and you want to give the Dodgers the World Series ring this year, if you want to have a parade for the first time since 1988, do me a favor and hit that like button and drop your takes down below. I want to hear what you guys have to say about your boys in blue. Remember, nothing brings us together quite like Dodger baseball,